it's Claire. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome if you've not ever been here before, and welcome back if you've been a subscriber already. I wasn't sure how many subscribers I had, and I didn't know how to check, but I managed to check, and I've got about 80 something. And do you know, I was over the moon because I only thought I had about 5, but even 5 I thought was really lovely. And yeah, I'm just really grateful for people that, you know, that you want to come back and keep watching. So this I'm doing videos quite regular now, aren't I? So I'm just trying to think what we've had. So we've had Valentine's Day now, haven't we? And had my mum's birthday. I made her a lovely card, and that's on Instagram if you want to see it, because since my last video I've made it and I've given her the card, so obviously I can't show you now, but I was really proud of it. I can show you the card I made for my husband for Valentine's Day. It's not amazing, in all honesty. Well, actually, this is the story of the week, really. Things have been going wrong, and so I'll tell you all. Like, things have been going right, but things have been going wrong as well. So here's the card. It's not like a conventional type of card, but I did like an easel. I wrote on the back, but I did like an easel style card, and I cut out the easel and the shapes with metal dies. I'm a die cutter. I've got a big shot, and the dies are from Card Making Magic, and they're new to me, but I really do like their dies. How I put the Chris on, I've got stamps, and I used embossing ink, and I basically, it's clear ink, so I embossed, put the embossing ink onto my stamp, stamped it, tipped powder, embossing powder onto it so it covers it, and then you like flick it off. Obviously make sure you're catching it, and then you get your heat gun on it, and then you've got like this like shine on it. That middle bit is a sticker. I think from what I remember, I had something go wrong with the heart that I did, and I picked it off, and I put the sticker on there. So, but he really liked that, and I always write him a poem, and I did say to him this year, I don't know if I'm just poemed out. I write a poem every Valentine's Day, and I just don't know if I'll get any more new material. So I did write a poem, but now I'm starting to think, am I repeating the poems? Have I said that one before? So I don't know, but he probably doesn't keep the cards anyway, so he probably wouldn't know. So that was the card I sent to him. The card he sent to me is so funny. He always has hiccups with cards, my husband, and he always like buys like the wrong ones. Like he buys his sister and her husband. Instead of buying sister and brother-in-law, he's done this a number of times. He gets brother and sister-in-law, and he gets things wrong. And this time the thing he got wrong is there was no envelope, and I said to him, look, oh, do you want me to give me the measurements and I'll make one? And I wanted him to give me the measurements because, you know what, I love making envelopes for like paper crafts. Honestly, I love it. He's like, no, it's all right, you won't mind, will you? And I didn't want to say, yes, I do mind, because I look a bit of you know, a brat, but it wasn't that. I wanted to make one, but he's like, no, you'll be fine, you don't need it. But he did get me a lovely card, and what I especially like about it, he got it because there's a keepsake on it, and this is it, and it's got a little wooden heart on it, and it says love you on it, so I'll be able to hang that up in my craft room. So yeah, I'm really pleased with that. And he got me a lovely, I don't know if you've heard of Pandora, and it's like a jewellery brand, and yeah, if you've heard of Pandora necklaces and bracelets and things, and he got me a charm, and it was a heart, and it had engraved I love you. So I was really delighted with that. I wasn't expecting anything, you know, that exciting. And he got me these chocolates. Now, I haven't heard of them, but I am a bit nosy, and I thought I'm going to look them up, and they turns out he said they're expensive chocolates, and it turns out they are posh chocolates, and I've kept the box. Like, the chocolates are gone, but there we go. That's them, and I looked them up. They're called a Prestat, and I hashtagged that on Instagram with Prestat, and they've got a shop in London. And you find that people have took photos. I haven't taken a photo of these and put it on there, but people do take photos. Excuse me, my nose keeps running. So those are some lovely things. And actually, we went out for Valentine's Day, and our first Valentine's Day together as a couple was in 2002. Would have been our first Valentine's Day. And we went out and had a meal, and you know, we haven't been out since, and we're like, it's the first one, 2020, and I think it's just because by the following one, I'm just thinking I would have been on the heavier side of pregnant. Maybe we just didn't fancy it. I don't know. I don't remember going out. I think we were a bit disappointed actually with the Valentine's meal before, the 3 course, and it was a set menu. We didn't really like it, so it wasn't that fuss. And then we were on this parenthood journey, and because my mum's birthday is the day following Valentine's Day, and it's school half term, and she works in a school, we always found she was either on holiday or doing something for her birthday, and we didn't really want to ask on her birthday weekend to babysit, so we've kind of celebrated it at home, but it's kind of like not been a going out thing, but we actually went out, and that was really, really nice of him. So I'm sorry if you're here for crafts. I haven't spoke about any crafts, have I? Sorry about that. And can you see Rafe? What it is, I've angled the camera so you can definitely see him, because my mum, she said, I couldn't even see him, she said. But this video is about crafts. It's not about dogs, but I'm pet crazy, and I love to bring the dogs, and I know people like to see the pets. So yeah, so little Rafe, you can see him. I might get him out in a bit. So what has gone wrong? Wow, right, I used to have a lovely sewing mug that said I'd rather be sewing. You might have seen it on social media in the past, and one time I chipped it, but I kept it, turned it into a pin cushion on the top. It looked really good. It looked even more effective in my craft room. And then one time I used to sew in a different part of this room, and it's by a fireplace, and it fell off the sewing table, and it smashed to smithereens, and that was that, and I didn't have one. So but since then I've kind of collected sewing themed mugs and things, and but one of my favourites, I've broke it, and I was just, it's just a chip, but this, and you've probably seen some of these while I've been doing my videos. It's got a little spool of thread on the back. It's got and like an old, like Singer, kind of like an old-fashioned looking sewing machine on the front, and it says inside, "Hey ho, it's off to sew I go." And I love it, and it's Poppy Teffray. She's got a shop in Cornwall in St Ives. She used to have one in Padstow, but the one in Padstow's closed down now. So I got that from there. So and it's not the only mug I have from there. I'm drinking out of this one, so there's lipstick on it. That's the other one I've got from there. If you have a look at that one. And it says inside, as I was going to St Ives. Just that, as I was going to St Ives. So I'm drinking out that one now, and it's got a little seagull on the back. So I'm going to have a sip actually. I've got a bit of a dry throat. And you know what I'm like, I have these coughing fits, don't I? So I felt really upset about it. So I ordered another one, and it's actually come today. but what, to make it really worthwhile, I put something else in my order, and I haven't opened them yet. So the new mug is in there. I haven't opened that yet. Obviously, I'm not going to get it out now and make all this rattling noise, because you know what it looks like, because I've just shown you the chipped one. And I actually got a pack of 4 coasters. They're melamine with cork backs, and if you know me well, I'm really into coffee. I love coffee. I'm coffee crazy. I don't drink tea. I cannot stand tea. I used to drink it as a child, and I think it was very weak and sugary. But I remember my first cup of coffee, and I was blown away, as you know, when I was young, and that was it. So these have I love coffee. So and there's 4 of those. So I'm really happy with that purchase. So while I'm on mugs, I'm going to show you other mugs. And when Sewing Quarter was open, these aren't Sewing Quarter brand, and I think I have seen these since on Create and Craft. So I've got 2, a red and a blue, and so even though Sewing Quarter closed down, you can get those on occasion. So I've got those. So even if you're not a sewer, say if you're, well, I suppose it has got a running stitch along there, but I suppose if you was just a paper crafter, you might like it, or you know, a cross stitcher, a knitter, crocheter, you know. But I think they are aimed at a sewer, really. And well, before I broke my favourite one, shall I go to, no, I'll show you this one before I show you that one. I think I've had this on a video sitting there, and it says patchwork is my happy place. I'm sure there's a photograph of that on social media. I've had to wash that out to bring that in here, actually. And I got that on a chanda. It's actually, there is a quilting lady that goes on. If I remember, I'll let you know next time. Oh, Rafe, are you trying to get out? Have you? I'm wondering if he's lost his little. It's here. What's that? I'll put this here. I'll try. Hang on, I'll put my other foot on here. Right. So, are you all right, Mister? He's happy. He actually wants to come and sit on my lap, doesn't he? So, yeah. So before I cracked my my mug, I'd just seen this lovely one. It was a. Do you know when you go on Instagram, you get sponsored pages come up? It's like a sponsored post. So I don't follow them, but they've paid to have this post shared with people that might be interested. And this one came up, and I thought, oh, I'll have a look and see what they've got. And guess what they had? Another one. Right, I've put the leaflet inside. I haven't actually got this out yet. I've saved this to show you, and I actually got this from a shop called Always Knitting and Sewing, and they've got this little leaflet in there, and and it shows you a picture of the shop front, and it's in a Chorley, postcode PR7 is the start of it. Like, I don't even know where Chorley is. I'm really sorry. I might actually look at. Oh no, that's nowhere near me. That's really far. So, but if you're local to that, then it's good for you. So this is the mug. Oh, how adorable is this? It's got a tape measure for a handle, and then it's got all these lovely bits. And I haven't had a good look at it myself. I haven't got it out the box, so this is all new to me. Obviously I saw a picture of it, so yeah, I'm really pleased with that one. And a girl can never have enough. The funny thing is, I never used to drink out of a mug, because I was brought up drinking out of like fine china, like cups and saucers and things. Like, I call my mum Mrs. Bucket, but I think what it is, it comes from my nan. I think my nan, my mum's mum, they used to have like staff and things in, like, my nan's still alive, she's in her 90s, but they used to have like staff and things, so I think she was like quite well to do. And so she's always, you know, her house looked like the Queen's. And then my mum, obviously it's been passed on to my mum and then got passed on to me. So my mum, like if she comes to my house, she will not drink out of a mug. I have to give her a cup and saucer. So I do like a cup and saucer, but I'm not as bad as that. And I think all these fancy sewing theme mugs have pushed me in the way of, you know, liking to drink out of a mug. So, but I used to be the same. It just wasn't the same unless it's in a cup and saucer. And this is another one, and I've never opened this one. And this is one. It was Sewing Quarter, and obviously it was their brand, Notions. But people online were complaining that you can't put it in the dishwasher because it all starts coming apart. So I do know when I eventually use it, not to put it through the dishwasher. And I've never got this out the box actually. And I went for the gold. I thought I'd ordered the rose gold actually, but it seems that I've got the gold scissors. So there you go. So I've got so many mugs. So you'd think if I broke one, I shouldn't be too upset about it, but I love them all. And it's nice because if I have to send some off to be washed, I've always got a nice crafty mug. And I've even kept a cup. I went to, have you heard of the show Friends? I went to a Friends festival in London last year, and I actually kept the coffee cup, because there's like a central perk in there. And yeah, so I've kept that as well. I'm obviously a bit of a hoarder, aren't I? So what have I been making? Right, I was in Hobbycraft, and oh yeah, I'll carry on with that. I've just, you know what I'm like, I spot things and I think, oh no, I need to show you. So I was in Hobbycraft, and I was looking through a Molly Makes magazine, and I saw this knitting pattern for this hat, and I thought, oh, I've got to have that. That is so me. Now I'm going to show you my coat, and then you might understand. I've had this coat probably a couple of years now, but it's a green. I'll get this over here. I'll take this off now. I've warmed up a bit. It's green, and it's got like a dusky pink stripe, a black stripe, and a leopard print on it, and it's like pink inside. And actually it wasn't an expensive coat, it was like new look, but I will admit it's not very warm, and it's fallen apart quite a few times, and it's only the fact I'm a sewer that it's still going, because I've had bits come apart here that I've had to stitch up, do ladder stitching. All the linings were ripped open, so yeah, so I've had to keep fixing it, but I really like it. Do you know when I like something that's a bit different. I don't really like looking like everybody else, really. I like to have my own style. So can you see the snacks here, Rafe? I can see. Ah, that's probably why you were looking over the edge. You spotted the treats, a little monkey. Aren't you? Oh, so I'll show you the pattern. I've got a laundry basket here with things I want to show you. So this is the Molly Makes magazine, and it's issue 115, and I don't see how well you can see it. It's basically a knitted hat, and it's got that kind of print like on your coat. I'm just wondering if there's a better picture. Yeah, there we go. So that's it, and I just thought that's going to go lovely with my coat. So I thought to myself, like, I need to get started with that really, because before you know it, it's going to be too warm for a hat, and then I'll have to wait months before I can wear it. So I have made a start, and I bought the exact yarn that was used on that project. Actually, I'm going to try and pick this up and not lose all my stitches. So that's as far as I've got. That's it. I've got a rim, the start of a rim of a hat, and yes, that's lovely. But I'm not. It's not, you know what I'm like. It's not the only thing I'm doing. So I have been doing a bit of red work last night. Been doing a bit of red work today in the dentist. It's such a shame. My youngest son, he's got to have a brace, and it's because he's got a tooth that has never come through. It's like growing sideways up here. So he'd lost all of his adult teeth, all of his baby teeth, apart from that one, and there was one here. Well, it's this side. They're both this side, and basically, what the dentist wants to do is to take that one out that was nearly out anyway, and take the one out that's probably never going to fall out, and put a brace on him, make some room, and then he's got to go to the hospital, and then they're going to have to dig into his gum, to the one that's up here, and put a clamp on it, and then attach that to the brace. When they've made some room, attach the brace and pull it down. So this morning we've been so busy, and he's had to have 2 teeth out, and oh, it's such a shame. So I wasn't going to do this video now, because I just was going to sit with him, and I said, oh, do you want me to sit and spend some time with you? And he's like, no, Mum, just like, you know. And I said, no, I want to give you time. But he said, oh, I just want to do this. So he was doing stuff on his computer and things. So I thought, no, I'll crack on and do the video. So actually, it made me feel so flat watching him go through that. I nearly didn't do this video just because I was feeling a bit, you know, about it all. It was such a shame, but he's all right. And then from there, like, my eldest son came with me, and we went and picked up his girlfriend and brought her back. So I've got the four here, as well as the pets. My husband's out, so that's that. So that's the hat. Now, Stan Sardine. Right, this is another thing that's kind of gone wrong. I attempted his hair this morning, and I've really stitched him up tight at the crown of his head, and you're meant to work his hair through the crown, but I'd done it so tight. After I'd done the fringe, I was really struggling to get it through, and I was really not liking it. So I've decided I could have done a different style of hair, but he wears a bobble hat, so I thought, do you know what, I'm not going to even bother doing his hair, so it's going to stay bald. But I have give him a little pom-pom now, little tiny pom-pom on his hat, look, and he has a backpack. Now, the only thing I would say, when you see the backpack on the picture, it does not look as wide as that. And so you had to cast on 30 stitches, it said, but I suspect it should have been only 20, but I think it might have been a printing error. But it looks okay, doesn't it? So he's got a very wide bag to put things in, and I showed you last time that he's got his little dog Scruff. Now, this is another thing that's gone wrong. Now, I was going to show you the pattern, and I told you in my last video there's some extra little bits for these, and there is. You can actually get a pattern to make an elf outfit, and you can actually make a girl and make like a girl elf, which I don't think I'm going to do that, but I said there were some extra accessories, and the things that I thought there were, have you lost, you haven't lost it, have you? It was a basket, a dog basket, a collar and lead, and some little jackets for Scruff the dog. So I was ever so excited. Anyway, I ordered it, it came. I bought the yarn for the lead, I bought the yarn for the basket, and I thought, gosh, that's going to be really chunky for such a little project. Well, it turns out, I looked at the name and it said Harry the dog. Now, the dog looked exactly the same as Scruff, but it turns out, actually the designer messaged me because she saw my photo and said, and it was really nice actually, she said that I'd done a lovely job of them, and she's really pleased to see it made up and things. But she said, unfortunately, because I asked her about this, but she said those accessories don't fit this dog, it's for a bigger dog, called Harry, and he looks exactly the same, but he must be a big version. So I could like make up you know, a collar and things myself, I suppose. But for now, I'm gonna and I'm gonna make some, because his name's Stan Sardine. I am gonna make some fish. This is a request from one of my followers, Katie. Hi Katie, if you're watching. I am gonna make some sardines for him, Katie, so we can have sardines for tea. But because obviously the weather's turning, my daffodils are blooming. Well, not all my daffodils, I've got different ones, some early ones. Hello, I'm filming. Are you alright, darling? Yeah, oh good. I'll be out in a moment, okay? So I just want to get this hat done so I can wear the hat, and then, you know, the fish can wait, can't they? So, but I have finished his parka jacket, and oh, you dropped your treat, haven't you, Rafe? I'll get that again. So I finished his little parka jacket. Now, something went wrong with this as well. So we've had the cup go wrong. We've had buying the pattern and then buying the yarn, and then that wasn't right. And I made the parka jacket, and it's so cute. It's got a little hood. Now you will see mine's got a lovely little grey stripe around it. Well, it wasn't meant to. When I'd got up to this point and I needed to stitch the hood, I thought I haven't got enough green yarn to do it, so I thought, oh, well, I'll have to do it in grey. The fur on the hood's grey, but I knitted the one line, and then I had to look for something, and it turns out I found the green ball. My husband had been he'd knocked a few things off trying to turn the lamp on, and so I found it anyway, and but I decided, instead of, oh no, I'd done 2 rows of grey by the look of it, I decided it could be a design feature rather than unpicking. It was like, what it is, when I'm knitting, it's always late at night, and sometimes if it's something a bit more like, oh no, I have to just like try and leave it until the morning. But I sometimes I start having this can't be bothered attitude because it's so late. I think, oh no, I'll just leave it. So maybe in the day I might have unpicked and took it back down. But you know what? I actually think that grey stripe looks nice. The only other issue about it is, so this is something else I'm not entirely happy about. The plan was I was going to put the parka on top of what he's wearing, so he's got this extra layer, but it doesn't really fit. It fits. If I take his jumper off and put it on, it fits lovely, but it doesn't fit on top of the jumper, so he can't wear both at the same time, which is a shame. But I will put that on him and take a photo of him in it for you at some point and put it on my social media. So that's something else that's gone wrong. So I just feel like this has been you know, there's another more that's gone wrong, and we'll get to that. What is it you're after? I'm going to put him back in there in a minute. I'll give him a little treat and just get some more things out. Right, pants. Talking pants. Now, things did go wrong, didn't they? Yes, right. First pants I sewn. Well, what it is, I'm not totally new to pant making. I could have got this for you. Basically, last year I was in my first figure skating competition, and I made a dress for it, and it was basically a leotard in 2 parts with a skirt attached. So basically the leotard bottom half was basically a pair of pants that you sew elastic in, apart from you didn't have to put elastic round the top because you was attaching it to the top. So I've made those before, and I've made a pants for Polly, my rag doll. I don't know if you've seen my rag doll before on one of my previous videos, or I have shown her on here. So I made up some pants for her. So I've made pants for her. So I'm sorry, I'm repeating myself now. So I'm not totally new to it, but I've never made pants to wear for myself. So I showed you the 2 patterns I was going to try last time. So the one was the Paper Theory, and at first, and the other one was they were the Paper Theory Stevie knickers, and the other was the Megan Nielsen Acacia. It's by ACACIA. Is it a KCA maybe? I'm not quite sure of the pronunciation. So at first glance, I had a look at what I printed out, and it didn't appear that there was any instructions for the paper theory. And at first glance, I got the impression I was going to like the Megan Nielsen more for the shape of them. So anyway, I made the paper theory ones first, and when I had a look at the little bit I printed out, there wasn't instructions on how to put them together. But I suppose, you know, how difficult would it be anyway, just to figure it out? Not a lot, I don't think, but there was a little video on how to do it. Now, what I will say, I did do them slightly different. I sewed the elastic pieces together, so the leg pieces together and the waistband together, and then inserted them into the pants. In the video, the lady, sorry, I don't know her name, the paper theory lady, because she's new to me, she sewed the elastic in before she put the side seam in, and then sewed all the bits. Maybe she thinks that's easier, and maybe it is, but because I did what I did in my figure skating dress, and so I decided to do it like that. In the video, she did say, make sure your pants have got some stretch in them, because they're not going to be very comfortable. Anyway, I used an old t-shirt, and it was a pink super dry t-shirt, but it didn't have any stretch. But I thought, I was itching to make them, so I made them, and here they are. They remind me a bit like Bridget Jones looking knickers, really, or something you'd wear as a child, but they're like a fun colour, and actually this is actual knicker elastic, and I've got loads of it because I actually won it from Sew magazine, and so I can make plenty of pants with it. So anyway, actually they are a big style pant, and they do fit, but for me, fit how they feel, like it's not totally fair to this pattern because I haven't used stretch fabric, so maybe they'd feel a lot different. But for me, they feel quite high, and then quite high on the leg, and they're obviously not what I'm used to. So do you know what? Would I try? If I hadn't got another pattern, I probably would try these again, and I'd use a different fabric. And go from there. But I've made the other ones, the Megan Nielsen, and do you know what, I love them. I made them last night while my husband was watching football, and I love them. It wasn't as clear cut for me what size I was going to go for with these. It was with these, I measured up and I come up as a size, and there you go. But with these ones, it wanted a waist measurement and a hip measurement, and I actually was two apart. My hip measurement was 2 sizes smaller than my waist measurement, but the way these pants looked, they were going to be nowhere near your waist. So just to be on the safe side, I didn't go for the lowest one. I went in between the two and just thought I'll go from there. So that was the size that I did, and those are the pattern pieces. And do you know what? I'm delighted. Now, I did cut up, like I'm trying to be really good to the planet. Now, I've had this vest. I've got the bits of vest here, actually. I had this vest on holiday in 2006, and I only got 2 children at the time, and yeah, one was a toddler and one was about 3, and I had this vest and I loved it. It was a super dry, but the reason I've still got it is it was so comfortable and it felt really soft, and I just used it for gardening and basically cleaning the chickens out. But there's 2 holes in it, and an old washing machine had got stains in it. I don't know how well you can see if you get it in set up, but there's some horrible big stains on it. but for just mucking out in the garden it was okay. And but I was digging around my wardrobe and I thought, oh, I want to make these pants, but I want to find something that's stretchy this time. So this has really, it's like a ribbed kind of fabric, and it has really got quite a lot of give in it. I don't know if you can see the holes in it actually. So it did have like a big print on the chest, and it did have a little badge. So I picked the badge off, and I fussy cut. So basically the print that used to be here on me is now at the bottom. So can you see that? And the badge that was on the front at the bottom here, I've re-stitched it on and put it there. And you know what, they're really cute. They're more, obviously it all depends on what you like, but these are a more a bit low bikini, so they sit low, like not as high up on my leg, and sit lower, and they look really cute actually. And then one of the reasons I've had to bring this video like as quick as I have is because I want to wear them. I want to have a go at wearing them, but obviously I didn't want to like wear them and be going, oh yeah, here's my pants, do you know what I'm saying? So I have tried them on, and actually these ones I've walked I've got like leggings that I just wear around the house on now. I've actually walked around with these on top of them around the kitchen for a giggle. My husband saying you're going for some like Wonder Woman look. So yes, I'm definitely gonna make some more. I have got some stretchy knit fabrics, and I would definitely go for like cotton, because obviously for breathability and things, you know, in those kind of areas. But they're to make garments, so until I've made the garment I don't really want to be cutting pants out of them. I'll cut my garment and I'll see what I've got left. Like I have to make a lot of hairbands. I've got loads of hairbands. I've been making them for years, but I find them quite useful, like when I want to get my hair off my face to do my makeup and things. So yes, I'm gonna have lots of fun with it. And we got on about garment making. I've been trying to inspire myself to use my fabrics I've bought for garment making and use the patterns, and but I always seem to have like the pattern and not the fabric, and the fabric, you know, it just, they never seem to cinch together. So I think I have got some things, but I'd set my heart. This is another thing that's gone wrong. I'm making these shorts, and I ordered a pattern, and I ordered the fabric with the pattern, really good, I know, and I'm sure I ordered enough, and I washed the fabric, basically I zigzagged the fabric, washed the fabric, dried it, so it would do all its shrinking before I make it, and it just wasn't big enough. I just hadn't ordered enough, so I have ordered some more, and I was hoping that would come today, but it hasn't, unfortunately, so I still can't make the shorts. So that's something else that's gone wrong, so I was a bit downhearted about that. Like there's something other garment I could make, but I just thought I'll do the pants first, because I'd said to you I was going to do the pants. So probably shorts is going to be my next garment, so I'll talk about the pattern and stuff next time. Right, last time I showed you the I'd bought the Tilly book. Now all I've done so far with this is I got the patterns out, I got my pattern paper out, and attempted to trace. Now I have traced off a dress, and but do you know what, I haven't got the right fabric to make the dress, so that's been abandoned, and I'm like obviously thinking shorts. And but the dress in particular was quite tricky to trace. It wasn't as bold as some of the others, and they're layered on a lot, so I think it is a little bit daunting, basically because these are simple sews for people, but if you're quite new to it, that tracing those might be a bit daunting. However, I've since found out, I watched a video with Tilly on it, and I've since found out if you've bought the book you can get the PDF, so you'll be able to go on with this code and just pick the pattern you want to print it out. So you've got to like cut the edges and stick things together and whatever, but if you don't want all that faff of trying to make sure you're tracing the right things, so that's that. So I know I said I wanted to be one of the first people to make something out of this, and I'm not. There's probably I know people have been posting makes out of this already, so but I think for now it's going to be put in my pile, and I'm going to work through fabrics I've got, and hopefully I have the pattern. If I haven't got the pattern, get a pattern, and then start buying more fabric for patterns. Fabric I haven't got for patterns I've already got. I'm trying to do it that way, use the fabric I've got. So that's where I'm at with that. I haven't started my chat with Claire. I'm probably not going to mention my spoondrift quilt now to you until I've actually done something on it, because you're going to be sick of hearing it. And last time, this is another thing that's gone wrong, right? Oh, do you remember last time I told you that I'd bought this metallic thread, and I've been doing some free motion embroidery on my machine with it. It's basically free motion embroidery. If you don't know what it is, it's stitching on your sewing machine freehand, so the machine isn't dragging it through. You are basically drawing with your sewing machine. You totally can do anything you want, go in any direction, but it is harder than drawing, and it takes practice. So I free motioned, I'm dropping it, some grass with this metallic thread, and it looked really nice. I've seen grass in in a free motion embroidered style on other people's makes. Only one lady or maybe two lady I've seen that, and I really like that look, and I really wanted to do that, so I did do that. So I really fell in love with these embroidery threads, so I thought I'll order some more. And I thought I'll buy the same brand, metallic Madeira, and I found a lovely little box, and it came. I told you I'd ordered some, but you know what? It looks fabulous, but they're not the same. If you, that's the great. I don't know if you can see the difference. Look, I know they're going to be different shades, but they're not the same. It's not just the colour; they're not the same. And yeah, it looks almost. I can't explain actually, but they just look different. And then I've had a look, and actually I thought these fake. I thought that was my initial thought, and they both. The label looks the same on the one side, and I checked the other side. Did I get it? I haven't opened this, so I didn't. No, I haven't opened it. Basically, I looked at the code, and it does say it's the same. Number 40, 200 meters, and it's even got art number, and it's got the same number. The only thing that's different, it's got a different lot number. So I might go and see my friend Claire. She's an ambassador for Madeira threads, so I'm gonna show her those and see what she thinks, and see if she thinks they are legit. But the only I must have opened it actually. Yeah. The only thing I could find that was different was these say they're 75% polyester and 25% metallic press. It looks like foreign. And these ones say they're 70% poly. Oh, this says 70% polyamide. And then, because I've used it, I can't see what the percentage of metallic is. And I'm having a look at this one. Actually, these are different. So, what some of these say they're 60% viscose and 40% metallic, and some of them, yes, they're all different. So I'm going to get my friend Claire to check that out. Hopefully, they are real, but whether they're real or not, they're not this look. So I suppose I can have a little stitch with them and see how they turn out. But if they're fake, they might not be great. So, because you know what, people do copy things, don't they? So anyway, so that's sewing. So definitely lots of garment sewing on the agenda. That I really, I've been that's what I'm saying. Did I tell you? I've been watching other people that sew clothes, not watching them, but what they've been sewing, trying to push me and get me in the mood for it. And I am in the mood. I'm psyched. I just want to make loads of garments, but I keep having things hindering me, not having the right things. And then I'm not doing any like crochet at the moment. After that cardigan, I really wanted to knit, because I used to always alternate, do knit crochet, knit crochet, knit crochet, but the last few projects have been crochet, 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 crochet. So that's why I did my fisherman, that stand sardine. But actually I'm going to even it out, because I'm doing a knitted hat, and oh gosh, a book. I bought a book, didn't I? Now I am a big fan. Harry Potter. It's a Harry Potter knitting book. So I suspect when I finish my knitted hat, I'll probably be looking into buying yarn to make something out of this, I think. So yeah, so that's more knitting on the agenda. And I have been doing my red work. I did say that I was going to do one red work block a month, and the one that I plan to do for February, I've done probably about a quarter of it so far, and that's down to knitting really. That's why it's so slow. But I did a bit in the dentist surgery. I did a little bit last night, because actually I'd finished making my pants before the football had ended. So I went upstairs and it was still, and I was like, oh, so the pants were really, I had already cut out the pants. And actually something had gone wrong with the pants. The first pants I cut out for the second lot of pants, I'd used my husband's old boxers. I forgot the pieces. I'd use those, and his boxers, I don't know where I've done it, I've got had loads of seams in them, and I managed to avoid all these dodgy seams apart from this one little corner, and it was quite bulky. So I tried to trim a bit of the bulk, and it cut a hole in them, and I was like, oh. So I was really downhearted about it. I just feel like this week I've had a lot of things that have not been nice that have happened, so I couldn't make them pants. But then I was delighted when I went rooting round in my wardrobe and I found that old vest, and it was stretchy, and it was, other than the elastin in it, it's cotton, so it was just perfect. So that's something else that's gone wrong, as well as the wrong thread, and and then last time I watched my last video back, and I forgot to show you my punch needle finished thing, and I could have done with showing you because of what I was saying. So here it is. Here's my punch needle hoopy that I made, and that's using basically the side that you see when you're working, so it's quite the flat side, but those little bits, can you see that those protrude a bit more? And that's because I worked from the back and I left a bit of length on those so they would stick out. So so that was my finished piece. I haven't done any more punch needle making. I showed you my little setup that I'd got ready to go, and I have bought a little bit more cross stitch fabric to put on my smaller frame, but I haven't done any more, probably because I don't know if I've got the yarn yet and if I've got to buy it. So I'm sorry if you're eager to see more of the punch needle, but I haven't done any more of that, but it's not forgotten about. So I'm looking in my basket. There's nothing else other than the yarns that for my hat. That's for when I get to the bit where I'm putting the print in. I've got those, and I think that is everything. Oh, another thing that I didn't tell you, I laughed when I watched my last video. I was telling you that I was really sad about IKEA, and I didn't tell you why I was sad, but actually somebody, I commented on someone else's YouTube video, and they actually said they figured out why I was sad. And what it is, the Coventry IKEA, which is slightly closer to me, I'm kind of in the middle of two, but it's the one I go to, it's actually closing down. I think it's the only closure they've had in the UK since opening, when they did, and it has to be mine. And actually I am the kiss of death to shops. This is the conclusion I came to on my own, and my husband says every shop I like. So I'm sorry if I shop with you, I'm very sorry, because clothes shops, whatever, every shop. I know a lot of shops in this day and age are closing down due to, you know, the high street is suffering due to the internet. But it's always my shop. Oh, Rafe. Oh, he's coming out of a job. Now, this is the thing. This is why I make him things, right? This is a shop bought jumper, but it is too big for him. It doesn't look too bad, but he can get out of it. So I need to make him more things, really. I'd really love a knitting pattern that was for his size, really luxury knit. But none. I've bought so many knitting patterns for dogs, but nothing is small enough for him. You know, I can do well for Holly, but never him, which is such a shame. So yeah, my beloved IKEA is closing, but we'll still have the Wednesbury one, but it's a tad bit further to go. I don't like the drive as much, and it's down the M6, and we get stuck in loads of traffic. And if we went to the Coventry one, it's really lovely. You go past fields, and it's just lovely, really nice. So yeah, it's such a shame. So yeah, so this is where it's at. I've had some lovely things, some made nice things, finished things, but you know, things have been going wrong as well. But that's where I'm at, and yeah, and hopefully I'll come to you soon with another video. So I hope there was some interest there for you, and thank you for watching. Bye. Say bye, Rafe. Bye. Bye.